Good afternoon, Mr. Hegel Goutier.
Good afternoon.
You are editor-in-chief and director for the Courier, the magazine of African, Caribbean and Pacific countries and European Union Development Cooperation. Could you kindly tell us something about the objective, the topics covered and the audience of the Courier?
I think firstly I'd like to highlight something. The Courier is a special experiment. This publication is financed by the European Commission and by the ACP group, the African, Caribbean and Pacific group of states. But these two bodies decide to have an independent publication. So for all publication, you have to fight for this independence, but that's something which is guaranteed by the two institutions. In this way, that's an original project. So we have two terms of reference. The first one is the promotion of the ACP-EU cooperation. And the second one is the promotion of the ACP countries, because these countries are not enough known, and that it's important for them as far as business is concerned, as far as international trade is concerned, to be better known. So I think respecting these two parts of the terms of reference, we have a lot of degrees of liberty to cover various things, business, trade, but also culture, which is so important for the ACP countries, because culture is one of the ground of the development of this country, or the potential ground of the development for these countries. And we cover science, all kind of cooperation between the two institutions, but also some third part. For example, the emerging countries as Brazil, China, relation with these countries with the ACP and with the ACP-EU cooperation.
Thank you very much. And what are the major challenges for the Courier in the coming years?
I think the major challenge for the Courier every time is to be so close to a larger audience as possible, because a lot of specialized publication, and sometimes they can catch only those who have degrees, university degrees or technician high level. We try from our side to go directly to the genuine actors of the development and the young people, the small business. We don't forget the traditional audience for this kind of publication, but we try to get a larger audience as possible. And I think the big challenge is that. The big challenge is to be able to reach this large audience, first thing, and secondly, to be proactive, because these last years the ACP-EU cooperation has to deal with some new challenges. For example, the EPA, what they call the economic partnership agreement, the economic partnership agreement, which means that we won't have only European countries is giving some support to the ACP countries, but they will be competing on the market. So that's a big challenge for the ACP. Other challenge other challenge close to this one, that the question if the ACP will survive as group. One, the European Union will get trade agreement with ACP region. What will happen for the ACP group? That's a challenge. And there are other challenges, like I don't know, the three big crises, financial crisis and you have also former crisis, fuel crisis, food crisis, and climate change. I think that's the big challenge we will have to deal with in the next future.
Thank you very much, Mr. Goutier. I have another question. In your opinion, which are the major challenges that communication in ACP-EU development face, and more generally, which is the role of media for development?
And I think that this question is this one. We have to access a large audience. We have to access those who need really information, because people who have high level of education, they can go directly to their own source. They know the sources. So that's the challenge. But I think other challenge that's to support ACP press. A lot is done from Europe, from United States of America, as about training in ACP journalists, and so that's useful. A lot has to be done again. But I think the biggest challenge is the situation of the press inside the ACP countries, especially in Africa. I think now there is a big threat, a new threat for the press freedom in these countries, that's the low level of wages the journalists can have, the low level of salaries. So I think when a journalist cannot afford to sending his kids in a high-level school or to the hospital, this journalist, I think, his press objectivity is under big threat at this time, because he will accept some support from the party, from the majority party, or from the opposition party. And in this case, you have just to forget press freedom. I think that's a new challenge. So in the cooperation, the best I used to say that if the European press want to support the colleagues in Africa, for example, they could just employ African journalists and pay them a normal level of salary, of wages.
Thank you very much for your considerations. And last question, for those who wish to gather more information on the Courier, do you have a website? Yes,
we have a website. The best is just in Google or any research engine to put Courier, the Courier in English, or the Courier in French, or O Correo in Portuguese, or El Correo in Spanish. They will find not only in PDF all the issues of the Courier, but also additional information every week. But the internet site is ACP-EU, ACP-EU Courier, EU Courier.info. Now, anyway, if they just look for the Courier, they will find it. Google will give it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.